And welcome to another episode of Elite Aficionados. I'm your host, Matt Thornton, along with my man, our spirits aficionado, famous Roger Amos, and our cigar aficionado, Doc Trey Andrews. We got special guest Wayne Stoner from EP Carrillo.
Carrillo.
Hey, Carrillo. Hey, it's going to be an awesome show today. We're going to also feature the Pledge cigar, and we'll pair it with the Temptress from Lakewood Brewing, a beautiful, beautiful beer, and it is our first beer that we're featuring. I cannot wait to get to it. Roger's going to tell us all about it. For the DFW Sports Update, we're talking Texas Rangers slump, Dallas Cowboys OTAs, and the little LIV versus PGA. Going to talk about that. What are the difference? All the buzz in the sports community right now. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about cigars, the Pledge with Wayne Stoner. Welcome, Wayne. So glad to have you, my friend.
Thank you. Glad
Awesome.
to be here.
Awesome. So first, we always like to say, where did you grow up? Tell us about your background a little bit, who you are.
Here we go. Oh, man. You're going to laugh at that then. I grew up in Michigan, originally. Been all over the United States, ex-Navy, just like this gentleman next to my right.
Gentlemen, why do you got to call him that?
I didn't mean to insult him right off the bat. I do
Both
apologize.
of us are former Navy corpsmen.
That's so true.
Okay.
Bar restaurant industry is what I've been in for 40 years. And then 2.5 years ago, I was lucky
Wait,
enough
did you
to...
say 40 years?
40 years.
Wow. 40 years. There you go.
Old person.
Old person.
Got in the cigar industry roughly about 2.5 years ago. A dear friend of ours called me up and said, "Hey,
Nice.
you still want to sell cigars?" I said, "I do." And so Ernesto Perez Cadillo called me up and offered me a position, and here I am.
Awesome.
Hey, let me tell you from experience, when Ernesto calls you and offers you a job,
Yeah.
you don't say no.
You take it, huh?
You don't say no.
All right. He's that guy. He's an influencer.
He's the godfather.
We always like to talk to our special guests, ask them, when did you have your first cigar? What did you develop your cigar passion? Like, where did it start?
Okay, well, let's go back to cigars and martinis.
Okay.
Early
all right.
90s.
All right. Early
It was
90s?
It was a craze. Early 90s, probably 91, 92.
Yeah.
It was my first cigar that I ever had, and I will be honest with you, it was probably the cheapie. I mean, it was bad. It was. I think I bought it at a Rite Aid. Not even sure it was a 3-pack. It was a very good possibility.
A Rite
It is
Aid.
very, very true.
Fantastic.
You should say Woolworths.
What are those?
Yeah.
Old.
There you go.
No, and then I at that point I just kind of followed the trend.
Okay.
And then again, another good friend of mine turned me on to this brand about 9.5 years ago, and I've been a crazy fan of the EP Carrillo for that long.
Right.
But then I've been smoking, and of course, this young man right here teaches me constantly on great cigars to smoke. So
He is our cigar aficionado for a reason.
For a reason.
That's
that is
true.
fact. So that's pretty much the first time I started.
Okay.
And it's been fun ever since.
I love it. What do you do for EP Carrillo?
I'm their sales rep.
All right.
I love that. I love saying this because it's a lost trade. As said, I am a traveling cigar salesman.
Traveling cigar salesman. All
I'm
right.
a door-to-door, shop back here I come kind of guy.
But you're not selling encyclopedias, so people actually open the door for you and say, yes, I want to buy stuff from you.
Not to mention, I am selling some of the best quality cigars out there.
Agreed.
The Godfather and the Master
yeah.
Blender that Ernesto Perez Cadillo really is.
Love it. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the Pledge. I know a very popular cigar where we always broadcast Elite Cigars Rowlett. So everybody here loves this cigar. Tell us about it. Yeah.
Well, Ernesto, he was trying to find something new. He's been in the medium to medium plus, the mild game. He's just always been right there, and he's done some big stuff, but nothing crazy. And everybody's pushing for it. So one day he came up. He came up the Connecticut habanero. It's the second time I've done that.
The Habano
wrapper, which
grown
is
in the U.S., which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you're going to get all the pepper, the spice, the chocolate, just the bold, the brilliantness of the actual cigar. And of course, he's just a master blender. And I think you're going to notice something, Ernesto, which you're going to notice the cigar right off the bat is not only does he have all this big stuff up front, but that nice creamy finish at the end. And it's just that's one of his trademarks, and that's one of the reasons why people just adore his cigars. But this was we brought it out in 2020, I believe it was. I hate to look at you and say that, but it was during the whole pandemic. We were kind of shocked at what was going on, weren't sure about it, and ended up being the highest rated ever at a 98.
Wow.
Cigar Aficionado.
Wow, congratulations.
Ever in the nation.
98 rating. Wow, man, that's awesome.
And it's just, if you haven't had one, shame on you.
Yeah, exactly. Where the country of origin, please, always.
It's made in the TLA factory down in Dominican Republic.
Dominican, got
Santiago, Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Ernesto's factory down there, and I don't even know what to say about it. It's other than it's just the most brilliant thing you're ever going to smoke. I mean, I would love to say that I have a much more sophisticated palate. Yes, the Aficionado next to me. But it's Ernesto just does a phenomenal job, and the box press on it. It's just the same.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Loving the box press for sure. And we got to ask our cigar aficionado, by the way. Ask Trey, what do you think about it, my friend?
So as most people that know me through the cigar industry know, the Atabey is probably my favorite cigar, right?
Okay, yeah.
But it's milder, a lot of flavor. But if I go to medium or medium full, this is the cigar that if I could smoke nothing else all day, every day, this is it.
Nice.
It's like you said, it's rich, it's flavorful, it's got oomph. You know you're smoking a cigar, and honestly, I tell people it's like smoking a chocolate souffle.
Chocolate
It really
souffle.
is.
All right.
It really and truly is. Like, it's got an inherent sweetness to it, but just everything about the cigar is perfect. Just everything. It's just an incredible cigar by one of the best blenders that have ever actually made a cigar.
And it's I mean, the wrapper's beautiful on it, right? And the filler, everything top to bottom is all Dominican. Is that right?
No. The wrapper is actually American.
Oh,
it's actually from Connecticut.
Oh, interesting. All right.
It's the Havana seed actually grown in Connecticut.
Interesting.
Which is that's what makes it so.
So
legal? It makes it legal?
Yes.
You've got Connecticut shade grown in America. You've got Connecticut broadleaf grown in America.
Right.
But this is a Habano, that is grown in America.
Okay.
And I don't tell people that I know everything about cigars, but this is the first Habano that I know of that was actually grown here.
Interesting. And Habano meaning Cuban seed is what you're saying.
Most everything out there is Cuban seed, but the Habano is what is the majority of naturals, but this one being grown here and fermented in the way, like Ernesto, like he knows how to ferment and age tobaccos, and that's what really makes a true blender.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So the aging process is what makes it. Do you think is that what makes this special? Is the aging? Is it just the whole combination?
Honestly, it's everything that he does.
All right.
Truly is. I mean, his aging. He's actually developed different aging and fermenting processes out there that people don't even know about.
Oh wow! All right.
This guy is meticulous.
Yeah.
So meticulous. Very proud of what he does. He has no problem smoking a cigar and going, nope.
Okay.
Nope. Pull everything off the shelves. It's
So
not ready
much
yet.
so that in 2014 he got #2 cigar of the year with the La Historia.
Okay.
And they rolled about 100,000 of those cigars,
Yeah.
and he just wasn't. It wasn't perfect to his palate.
Interesting.
And he had them actually pull out half a leaf of Viso, which we talked about the different parts.
Oh
of the
right.
leaf. That is-
Remind us.
that is. It doesn't have a lot to do with the flavor,
Okay.
but it has enough that he felt like pulling half a leaf out would make it better.
Yeah.
And he got #2 cigar of the year.
Wow.
And most people believe it should have been #1 cigar of the year.
Interesting. So he is a true perfectionist. I mean, even though it got #2, he's still saying, "Look,
have no
that's not
idea.
good enough. That's not good enough."
He in the dictionary, the definition should have a picture of him.
He is absolutely
that is-
meticulous.
Awesome.
The Encore #1 2018 at the show had it sold. These guys, one of these poor gentlemen right here that actually worked for him, actually had a couple thousand boxes sold.
Yep. And then
Wow.
he decided that wasn't what he wanted to do, and we had to pull him.
Pulled them all.
Wow.
Had to age them a little bit longer.
So you sold 2,000 boxes, and then it basically said, "All right, now you got to pull them back because it wasn't to his liking or his
And when Ernesto
standards."
tells you to pull shit back, what are you going to do, right? Like, you don't say, "No, I've already got these sold."
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to take them back, and you're going to come out with something better.
that's awesome. That's
And he's
awesome.
been doing it for a long time too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like
So
years and years, right?
And you look at, I mean, when I first started smoking cigars in '95, La Gloria Cabana was one of the biggest brands out there. That was his cigar. And then he sold the brand to General, and then 10 years later started his eponymous cigar, EBC.
Okay.
But he's got, you look at the New Wave Connecticut, it was the highest rated Connecticut ever in Cigar Aficionado magazine until he came out with the New Wave Connecticut Reserve, and it was 2 points higher. And then he came out with the La Historia, #2 cigar of the year. 2 years later, came out with the Dusk. Or no, it was the Elencos, or the Oscuro, yeah.
The Oscuro.
And it was in the
Elite
top
series.
5.
Yep.
And then he came out with the Encore, #1 cigar of the year, and then this one, #1 cigar of the year.
Wow.
The guy's got a pedigree. You cannot
excellence.
doubt what he does. He's incredible.
Yeah,
And he's one of the nicest guys that you're ever going to meet in this industry, too.
it's
I'll know him
nice.
to death.
Good human.
Oh, my
Yeah, it's
God.
great.
I know we're not smoking it tonight, but I'm a huge fan of Connecticut cigars in general.
Yeah.
And the New Wave, both of them
Yeah.
are just really, really good. Really,
And it's a
really,
great
really
price
nice
point.
cigars.
That's great.
It's a phenomenal cigar at $7 to $8.
Wow.
And if you don't mind smoking something milder, but you can smoke it after dinner, before dinner, with coffee. We've talked about coffee and cigars
that's
before.
right, that's
that
right.
cigar is incredible. And it's
awesome.
a Connecticut. And Connecticut's historically don't get rated highly in Cigar Aficionado.
Interesting.
And both of his Connecticut's have been very highly rated.
So Trey, what are some of the flavor profiles you're getting from the cigar? What do you kind of get from it?
So, like I said, you get the inherent sweetness from it,
Yeah.
and it's crazy when you're talking about cigars and you say sweet, people automatically assume it's flavored, right? It's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that the tobaccos that he uses has an inherent sweetness that you get a little bit on the tip of your tongue.
I got you.
You do get a little bit of cocoa.
Okay.
That's why I said it's like smoking a chocolate souffle, right?
Right.
If you had a phenomenal chocolate cake, that is what this cigar is like.
Oh,
It's super rich, sweet, just beautiful cigar.
That's awesome. And it is a great smoke. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm getting all those flavors. What else? You've talked about a lot of the different cigars you have. Any others that you want to kind of, hey, this is one that I highly recommend.
Well, for me, it's the Dusk.
The Dusk. Okay. All right.
It's just an amazing smoke. It's an any time of day smoke, real rich in flavor. And then just a couple little hint spoilers. I mean, there's maybe some new stuff on the board.
Oh,
We do
okay.
have the Inch that's out there that's been out, but that's our workhorse. Again, one of my big favorites. That's my go-to golf cigar.
Absolutely. Great
Okay.
golf
Greatest
cigar.
Maduro. We got a Maduro and a natural. They're just amazing.
Some people
So,
don't realize it, but Ernesto actually invented the big ring gauge.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of weird,
okay.
right? You got this traditional Cuban cigar maker,
Right.
And most of their stuff is 46, maybe 48 in ring gauge,
Right.
And he decided to just flip the industry on his head and say, "I'm going to come out with 60, 70,
Man.
nobody really smoked big ring gauges. Nobody
Yeah.
even knew anything about them.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm going to do this. And that cigar, I used to sell a ton of them when I rep for EP Carrillo. It's a great stick. And like Roger said, on the golf course,
Yeah.
that's my jam.
Yeah. So you can go what, 18 holes with one, or it's
I've
not
gone,
quite?
I've gone 14.
14
I've gone
holes?
14
Wow.
holes with one
So
stick.
usually
With
light
one
one,
cigar.
light one on the third hole and usually done by the 16th.
Like, you'll never see me smoking big ring gauges.
Yeah.
On the golf course, 60s, it's just perfect because
You
it
gotta
lasts
keep it
longer.
lit. You gotta
You're always
keep it
putting
lit.
it down. You pick it back up and it's good to go, and it'll last you for a while.
Absolutely. I love it, man. The Pledge. I'm loving everything the cigar brings. Wayne Stoney's going to be with us throughout the rest of the show. Hey, come back right after these messages. We're going to talk cigar lounge etiquette, Trey's takes, our cigar aficionado, and man, we're going to do some other fun stuff too. Come back right after these messages. And welcome back to another edition of Elite Aficionados. I'm your host, Matt Thorne, with famous Roger Amos, and we're talking to Doc Trey Andrews, Wayne Stoner from EP Carrillo Cigars. Excited to have you too, Wayne. But before we do that, we always do something called Trey's Takes. Trey, you're going to talk to us about what today?
We're talking about cigar lounge etiquette. So these are going to be your unwritten rules. Everybody they want to come to a shop, they want to hang out, they want to enjoy their time.
Yeah.
But there are some pointers that you need to keep in mind.
Great.
To make sure that you're able to fit in and not be the outcast that people just hope to God you never come back.
Don't be that guy.
We have them in every cigar shop, I promise.
Everyone, yes.
So, number one, buy from the shop.
Buy from the shop. Got it. Okay.
Don't bring your own cigars in that you bought somewhere else and come here and smoke them. Because if you do that, we won't make any money, we won't keep our doors open, and you're not going to have a place to smoke. Now, if you decide that we don't have a cigar that you want, feel free to bring a cigar that you brought from somewhere else, but please buy one from us also.
Got it. All right.
Pretty simple, right? I don't care if you buy a $6 or $7 cigar from me. At least you have done your part to support us. Smoke what you want to smoke.
That's like any restaurant. You can't go to the restaurant and bring in, an order from out of that restaurant. Same thing. Yeah.
You're not going to go to Burger King and get you a Big Mac and then go to Whopper. And go to McDonald's and eat. Right? It's just you don't do that. Right?
You've never eaten with my family.
That is true.
It's also etiquette. I mean, even a rep. You know, we support.
Of course.
We have our own. We bring them in to give to everybody, but we still go in and buy one ourselves. So
that's number two.
All right.
Don't lick your cigar before you use a shop cutter.
Yeah.
And I don't mean lick like nobody does that, right? But don't put your cigar in your mouth to get it moist and then go use a shop cutter to cut it.
Yeah.
The person after you is now going to get your germs.
Right.
And in a post-COVID world, everybody is super weird about it.
Yeah.
So don't be that guy, right? Super easy.
Yeah.
Light your cigar and enjoy it.
Okay.
I know that sounds weird, but there are people that will be like, oh, you want me to light your cigar? Or you want to use my lighter?
Okay.
Like, super weird. Mind your business.
Yeah.
I'm going to light my
So don't light another man's cigar in the shop.
Weird.
Is what you're
Super
saying.
weird.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
When you are done with your cigar, don't smash it in the ashtray like you would a cigarette.
A cigarette. Okay. Yeah.
It stinks. It causes a really nasty aroma, and nobody wants that.
Interesting.
Cigars will actually go out on their own. When you're done with it, just put it in the ashtray, let it go out on its own.
Let it go out its own. Okay.
Super easy.
Great stuff.
Conversations. Know your audience.
Yeah. Okay.
And converse appropriately. If you're in a shop, everybody is super conservative. Don't talk about something that's super liberal.
There you go.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
If you know a guy that's in your shop and he's a preacher, don't be dropping F-bombs.
Right. Try to
know your audience, converse appropriately.
Copy that.
Again, a lot of this is common sense.
Yeah, it is, but it's great. It's a great point, Trey. It really
absolutely needs to be explained.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What else you got for us?
Don't be a conversation snatcher.
Oh, okay.
So if you've got a couple of guys that are talking about something, do not intervene and be like, oh yeah, I saw that movie. It was amazing. The end was great when this happened.
So ruin the ending of a movie? Is that what you're saying?
To be fair,
David,
one of our employees has done that a few times, and now nobody talks about movies in front of him.
Oh,
don't be that guy.
Oh, poor Dave.
Super. Other people don't care about how good you think your cigar is.
Interesting. Oh, really? But I want to. But if I got a great cigar, I want to say, hey, Trey, this is a great cigar.
And that's one thing.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But if somebody bought a $6 cigar, don't be like, oh, you're smoking that?
Oh, no.
I'm smoking this Padron or this Davidoff. This thing is an incredible cigar. You shouldn't buy cheap cigars.
Right.
Well, not everybody can afford that.
Yeah.
Or
that's great.
That cigar hit their palate right. They love it.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy their cigar. Leave them alone.
Yeah. That's a great.
There's some really nice, inexpensive cigars out there.
Absolutely.
There's no reason to cigar shame anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that big cigar shame. I like that. That's exactly right.
This next point, it's one of my biggest pet peeves.
All right.
do not talk on the phone in a cigar shop. If you need to, keep it brief, or go outside, go in the humidor, go somewhere where nobody else has to be listening to your conversation. Especially if you're coming up to the register to buy your cigar. Because I want to talk to you. I want to say, okay, you got this cigar, very nice. Do you need a receipt? Do you need a bag? If you're on the phone, I feel like I'm being rude, interjecting into your conversation.
Right.
When in actuality, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I got you. And
it happens all the time.
And you've got so much knowledge. I want to get what you got, for the cigar. Tell me about
that
it.
That is part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you got the Crown Heads limited edition this year.
Right.
Cigar's fantastic. Hold on a second. It'll be $13.25. Thank you, sir. Kick rocks.
Right.
Like, that's not the way it should be.
I got you.
All right.
That's great.
So, one of the biggest points.
Okay.
Do not discuss politics or religion.
All right. So, like with your family, try to avoid those two things.
Polarizing topics. And that shouldn't just be in a cigar shop, like you said, right?
Right.
In family, if you're out somewhere with friends, like those are things that it is extremely polarizing. You start talking about your conservative beliefs or your liberal beliefs, and somebody else is the exact opposite, it's going to cause conflict. People are going to argue. You don't need it. Leave that stuff at home. Do not discuss religion or politics.
Got it.
It will absolutely make your time in a cigar shop way better.
Oh man, I love
Trust
it.
me.
Great point. Trace takes any more, Trace? All right.
The only other one that I have, man, is when you come to a cigar lounge, smoke your cigar and enjoy the ambiance and the culture.
Yeah, that's a good.
Like, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be something for you to be able to relax and enjoy. There's no reason for you to come here, be stressed out, have a cigar, and impart your stress on somebody else.
That's a great point. You come to the shop to decompress.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your time.
Enjoy a
Relax.
cigar, enjoy a drink, enjoy some
And also
friendly
respect the shop.
conversation.
Don't ash on the floor, ash in the ashtray. Be respectful of the shop.
Right.
Clean up after yourself. Your mama doesn't work here.
Right.
There you go.
Right. That's great. Trace Takes, man, our cigar aficionado, always bringing the awesome knowledge to us. Thank you, Trey. Really appreciate it, my friend. Great items and good things to think about. Transitioning here over to this beautiful Lakewood Brewery, the Temptress, to our spirits aficionado. Take it away, Raj.
I'm empty.
You enjoyed it so much. I was going to say.
So you might want to finish
Slunch
because we got some stuff going on here. Our producer RJ's drinking one back there. So I failed in the break. I should have got some beers out because we actually, normally what I do at this time is we talk about a whiskey that we're drinking. We give you some history of the whiskey, a history of the distillery, the people that own it, stuff like that. I didn't want to go into that this time. I wanted to do like a side-by-side, different variants.
Okay.
So obviously we started with the original Temptress. Super good, delicious, chocolatey, full-body milk stout. Pairs phenomenally well with this Pledge.
And it's a local Dallas brewery.
It is a local, right here in Garland. It's literally 10 minutes down the road. Super good. I actually stopped there to get this beer tonight. And shout out to Lakewood. I got this shirt.
Look at that.
Deep in the style of Texas.
Hey, nice.
Lakewood Temptress.
Drink Texas.
Put your boobs away.
Yeah. I'm going to step off camera for like 2 seconds.
All right. Okay. He's
I
gonna
remember
go.
my first podcast.
He's gonna go and get another beer for us because
too.
he's
All
got
right, so-
multiple beers.
I apologize for talking trash.
Is the Lakewood Temptress S'mores. Lakewood Temptress S'mores.
S'mores.
I don't know about this.
Okay. From the reactions you're getting, I can tell this is going to be pretty good. All right.
Yeah. So.
I'm getting rid of this now.
Anything that says s'mores, I love s'mores.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Is it that obvious? It tastes like a s'more?
I think after it warms up a little bit in your glass, and stouts you kind of want to drink a little bit, not room temperature, but not ice cold.
And that was going to be one of the points that I was going to make. When you're drinking stouts, you don't want it to be ice cold. Because once it warms up a little bit, it actually imparts a lot more flavor.
Oh my god!
Oh, this beer is
That is
incredible.
so good.
You can definitely taste chocolate. You can
It
definitely
is
taste
a
marshmallow.
s'more. It's
some graham
true.
cracker. Yeah, really, really good. Trey and I actually went to the release party at Lakewood just a few weeks ago, and when we went, I knew that I wanted to smoke the Pledge, so I knew this was going to be a good pairing.
Okay, all right.
Well before this show even started.
And that's dead serious. We talked about that when we talked about our pairings.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, it's going to be a whiskey, it's going to be this. When we do the Pledge,
Yeah.
we're going to do Temptress.
Oh man,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
good, so good.
So just like a whiskey, I like to get in there and get the aroma.
I was going to ask, you do get a bouquet then?
For sure.
Okay.
When it warms up, you get a little bit more. But that's one of the great things about this style of glass, this Belgian tulip. It's kind of like a cognac glass. You can warm it up with your hand a little bit because it is a little bit cold coming out of the ice chest.
Yep.
So good.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Now you know why we wanted to do Temptress.
Yeah, right. So
They have so many
flavor
different
profiles.
variations.
Obviously s'mores. That's but
Yeah.
what else you get from it? Yeah.
I mean, that's it, really. I mean, so you do get a unique flavor and a unique aroma from most Lakewood beers anyway, because of the Belgian yeast that they use. I believe Wim has family ties to Belgium.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure every one of his beers, or at least most of his beers, they use Belgian yeast, or at least a Belgian yeast strain. Maybe they propagated some yeast there at the brewery.
Yeah, this guy with his big
special
words.
strain. Hey, I am the aficionado.
You
right?
are.
So-
You're our chemist. You're also our chemist, I think, right?
That boy good.
Yeah. And his beer's good.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what about the pairing? So you guys said immediately this is the pairing. What do you get from the cigar and the beer?
So I already thought that the cigar had a lot of chocolate notes in it.
Yeah.
It's deep, it's rich. Like Trey said, it's like smoking a chocolate cake. It's just pairs beautifully with this beer, and I knew it would. So that's why we wanted to share this with you guys.
And
Yeah,
if I can
what do you
just
think,
let me
man?
interject. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
so for myself, a full body cigar is usually outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
This is one of the few I can smoke that I do enjoy. I get a lot of pepper, I get a lot of spice out of it.
Okay.
I think it's very, very big. A big cab would go well with this as well.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah,
what's
good
great
point.
about this is you got that sweetness of that beer,
Right.
and it enhances it. But there's never anything bad that's sweet and sour or sweet and spicy.
Right.
Never. Have you ever had anything that's bad that's sweet and spicy?
And what you guys don't realize is he has lived in Florida for many years, so he's never had access to Temptress.
Oh,
This is-
wow. So
this
this
is
is your
literally
first
absolutely
Temptress.
my
Wow.
And it's
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
But again, 40 years in the industry, I've drank a lot, and so anything Belgium, you say Belgium, me, I'm in.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to give it a
But it's not
shot.
like a Belgian Trudel, right? Like
No.
this is just a very phenomenal milk stout.
I didn't think you were going to top this, to be
Right.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have
Yeah.
two more. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I've got a barrel aged. I don't know what.
Producer RJ
Producer
wants
RJ
more.
wants another one.
I'm not sure if you want to get squeezy or if you want something
Mind
busy.
I do actually, we probably won't be able to get them here on the show, but I do have a barrel-aged French toast Temptress and a barrel-aged French toast with blueberries Temptress. Wow. So the great thing about Temptress, the base beer is phenomenal as it is, but they've got so many variants. They got sin mint, it tastes like an Andes mint. They've got raspberry, they got the French Quarter, they got the salted caramel we were talking about earlier.
Hashtag diabetes.
Yeah.
So good. They got the peanut butter, double chocolate. They got double stuff. Delicious stuff right here local. Check them out. Check them out with a nice dark cigar. Super good stuff, man.
It's a smorgasbord of beautiful beers, absolutely, and the Temptress from Lakewood Brewing. What an awesome pairing. Hey, right after these messages, we're going to talk different types of beer glasses with Roger on this Roger's Ramble, and we're going to do the DFW Sports Update. Come back right after these messages.
Can you just don't use the same?
And welcome back to episode 5 of the Elite Aficionados. I'm your host, Matt Thorne, along with famous Roger Amos, Doc Trey Andrews, and Stoner is here from EP Carrillo Cigars.
Carrillo.
We're going to talk to Roger here. Roger's Rambles. Glasses, beer glasses. I see them. I don't know what the significance is. Please, drop some knowledge.
So I'll drop a little bit of knowledge. I wasn't able to bring my entire collection.
You got like 72
No,
glasses.
at last count, I have 121 different
wow.
beer glasses.
I was way
Wow.
So
121.
121 different beers. Now, some of them are the same style, just from different breweries, whatever.
Yeah.
But so we'll start off real simple.
Way too much time.
The American pint.
Okay.
Super simple. You've seen this anywhere you go.
Right.
Right.
All the time.
It's inexpensive. It's easy to clean. It's easy to store. That's really it, man. It's American.
American pint.
It
America.
doesn't- Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Firewheel Brewing Company.
Cheers to America.
Rowlett, Texas.
Rowlett, Texas. Yeah, nothing special. You've seen them a million times. It doesn't really enhance or detract from the beer you're drinking. If you like them, go for it.
Pretty simple, yeah.
Next, we have a variation of an imperial pint glass. Again,
Okay. Yeah.
Firewheel Brewing Company. It's not quite an imperial an imperial pint. The imperial pint has a little bit more of a bulge here in the middle. One thing is it's pretty generic as well. It's British English generic instead of American generic.
All right.
But it is 20 ounces versus 16.
Okay.
But same thing. It's just a simple beer glass. You would drink English bitters, ordinary bitters, English brown ales, English pale ales, stuff like that out of
Boddingtons.
You know,
right.
yeah, you can drink absolutely. I've enjoyed Boddingtons. I like nitro beer, so super simple. Again, 20 ounces, you get a little bit more. Next is a variation of a Pilsner glass. Now, most of them do not come with the handle. This one did, but the basic shape is the same as a Pilsner glass.
Yeah.
It's thin, skinny, straight-sided. You would drink, obviously, Pilsner. You could drink some American adjunct ales, wit beers, stuff like that. Anything that's going to be effervescent, it allows you to see.
These big words, man. You're rocking my world today, man.
It's nice and clear. You can see through the beer. You can see the bubbles rising to the surface. It's just a real pretty beer to drink that style of beer out of. Nice, crisp, refreshing beers. Next, we've got a wheat beer glass from Boulevard, my hometown, Kansas City, Missouri.
Nice.
This is the Boulevard wheat glass. Obviously, you drink wheat beer out of this. Again, it's nice and thin, real thin wall. This is super
Very thin. Yeah.
super fragile.
Yeah.
I was very nervous bringing this up here tonight.
Okay.
But wrapped it up nice, so it made the trip. This also allows you to see the beautiful color of the wheat beer. If it's a little bit of a hazy, you get to see the stuff floating around in there. The way that the top kind of comes back in
Right.
allows the aromas of banana and clove that are inherent in the wheat beers to kind of become trapped inside the glass. One of my favorite things about the wheat beer glass, and I think it's because of the shape, when you take a drink and you drop it back down, it's almost like Das Boot. It pops on the way
Boot.
down versus the way up. It pops on the way down, creating a new head. So if you're drinking out of a wheat beer glass, a good
Right.
wheat beer out of a wheat beer glass, you're going to have head all the way down. And everybody knows that the head is where the flavor's at. That's where the aroma's at.
Okay.
Everybody loves good head.
Gotcha. Yeah, indeed.
I'm going to be really good.
This is my crown jewel of my collection.
All right.
This is a chalice.
Chalice.
This is royalty.
Okay.
You would drink Belgian strongs. You could drink stouts out of this. Anything you want to drink. This will also. So Orville.
Yep.
Literally, it's a Trappist ale. It's the only beer that this brewery makes is Orville. This one Trappist ale.
Okay.
I got this glass when I bought the beer, and I've loved it ever since.
Traditionally 9 to 11 ounce, I believe. Correct?
Yeah. So they don't use our measuring system. So yeah, a little bit smaller. Delicious beer, maintains head the whole way down. I don't know how much the glass plays into that, but I mean it's got a big thick stem. It's got the silver around the edge. It's etched along the side. It's just a beautiful glass.
So one thing that always disappoints me when I go to a bar
Yeah.
and I order, let's say, Velvet Hammer, right? 9%, amazing beer. they want to serve it to me in a small tulip glass. You guys don't know my life, my struggles. I am a drinker. Serve me that beer in a pint glass.
Right.
I'm a fan of the Velvet Hammer in an imperial pint.
Oh,
why not? You know,
it's an
I'm a beer
imperial
drinker.
double red, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what they should.
Yeah.
But they don't, and we don't lie. Right?
Yeah.
For most people, your average human being cannot drink a high ABV beer in a taller glass. Guys with an Irish liver like myself, you can put that in a 72-ounce glass, and I'm going to be really happy. It doesn't happen.
And then there's that small law thing.
Laws are made to be broken.
Laws are made to be broken. That's why we put straws in bottles of Jameson. There you go.
Nice.
So we've also got the tulip glass that we've been drinking our Temptress out of. This is traditionally a Belgian style. You drink Belgian darks, Belgian strongs. Obviously, we're drinking a stout with Belgian yeast.
Yeah.
So super good. It's got the bulbous shape. It's got the stem that allows you to swirl. Well, got a little bit too much in there now.
Let me do that.
You can swirl.
And if you want to
Yeah,
do it with
put
the
your
pinky
pinky
out,
out,
it's
for
super
sure.
special.
Oh, okay. You do the pinky out
Yeah.
too, huh?
So same thing kind of with the wheat glass. The way that it comes out and comes back into narrows up at the top. It forces the aroma right in your face as you're drinking.
Yep.
And we've talked about it before with whiskey. You know, the aroma of the drink plays a huge part in the overall
That's
flavor.
interesting. So beer has a bouquet as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Completely.
Great. Great. All right.
So that is the tulip glass. Last but not least
Last but not least.
Oh, strong arm.
is the Oktoberfest.
Hey.
This is a full liter of beer. It's actually a liter up to here, that much head. This is what you drink at Oktoberfest.
Nice.
You put a crap ton of beer in there 4 or 5 times, you're going to have a fantastic night.
It's usually a lighter beer, though.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. So Marsden style, Oktoberfest styles, they're typically 4.5 to 5.5%. They're flavorful, they're malty, and it just goes really well with this beer. I've actually won a couple of Stein hoisting contests.
I have been there to witness that.
You've witnessed one of them.
And
As
Stein
strong arm
hoisting,
of the
as
law.
in you hold them out as long as you can.
long as you can, and
Wow.
you beat everybody else out of the table.
All right, way to go. Famous Roger Amos
Yeah.
with the Stein hoisting. I love it. Man, that is awesome. So I guess the long story short here is every one of these glasses offers a different component, a different, I guess, benefit to the specific cigar. Specific
Or
beer.
no benefit
beer.
at all.
Yeah, or beer. There you go.
But a lot of it does depend on what they're serving at any given bar.
Yeah, okay.
If you're drinking something that is going to be a higher ABV,
Right.
which is alcohol by volume,
Yep.
then they're going to serve it in a smaller glass.
Okay.
If you're drinking something that is going to be super light and lower ABV, it's going to be a pint glass or maybe bigger. It all depends on where you're drinking and what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to your point, with the higher ABV beers, they make a version of the pint glass, or I'm sorry, the Belgian tulip,
Yep.
that is called a snifter. It's much smaller. It holds 8 ounces maybe.
Okay.
And you can get 10-15% beers. Or that, you can get flights of different styles of beer, so you're not drinking
Right.
too much.
It's weird because I can order 7 of those and be good, or you could just serve me 3 pint glasses.
Yeah.
But they won't do that.
They won't do that. All right.
Not that I'm bitter.
Funny story. My first visit to Texas years ago, over 20 years ago, I came down here for work. I went to Humperdinck's.
Yep,
Y'all remember
yeah.
Humperdinck's?
No,
They used to brew their own beers. I'm not even sure if they're still around now. But Humperdinck's was right next to the hotel. Went to the restaurant, gonna have some dinner, have a beer. And I asked the server, I said, "Yeah, give me a pitcher of whatever beer it was. Can't remember what it was."
Yeah.
She said, "Somebody joining you?" I'm like, "No." Sorry, sir, I can't pour you that. I can't serve you a pitcher, but I can give you this 24-ounce beer. I said, "Cool, give me 2 of them, and then I'll take another one after that."
That's the exact amount, right?
Couldn't give me a pitcher, but I could drink 4 24-ounce beers.
I have also heard, not from experience, that you can drink straight from a pitcher at a bar.
Okay. All right.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I have been thrown out of some places.
Fine establishments, I might add.
So anyway, what do you guys think, man? The pairing
it's
with the
great.
s'mores?
Just great. Great pairing.
This glass is
Hey.
perfect for it.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, fellas.
Yeah.
Come T-Rex arms.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ching ching.
Oh man, so good, so good. Awesome.
And it's
Well,
warming up.
yeah, it is. It is
You
indeed.
get more marshmallow, you get more chocolate.
Love.
It's not like a super sweet milk chocolate. It's a not really like a semi-sweet. It's not a bitter chocolate.
Right.
Like a cocoa nut.
It's a weird
Yeah.
marshmallow.
It is. Yeah. It's
You definitely get
Which I know
marshmallow.
sounds much sweeter, but it's
tastes
Yeah.
like a s'more. It tastes like a s'more.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome. Rogers Rambles, famous Roger Amos, our spirit aficionado. Thanks so much, Roger. Transitioning to the DFW Sports Update. Talk a little bit of Texas Rangers. The standings, they're at 26 and 29, 9.5 games back from the AL West leading Houston Astros. They're playing at Cleveland Guardians tonight. Rangers have just 2 wins in the past 7 games. Ouch! What is going on with our dear little Red Shoe Rangers?
So I think most people would think when we had the doubleheader last night,
Yeah.
if they would have told you that we're going to lose both games, but Marcus Semien is going to have a coming out party,
Yeah.
most people would have been like, cool, we lose those 2 games. Luckily, we were able to have it. We won 1, they won 1.
Right.
But Marcus Semien went 7 for 8 with 3 home runs
Yeah.
in the doubleheader.
That's awesome.
That cat is amazing. He's got a great pedigree. He's got a track record. And he signed a big contract to come here. And for the first month and a half of the season, hadn't really done much.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he is coming out of his slump. And that dude is going to propel us. Him, Corey Seager.
I like it. All
Our
right.
pitching has been phenomenal.
Yep.
So you guys better watch out, man. I think most people thought we could be number 4 in our division.
Right.
I think we might be number 2 by the season's end.
Fair enough. One.
The Astros are going to continue to do their thing, and they're cheaters, but it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Shots fired. All right, so no player in the top 50 in the league in batting average for the Rangers, right? A little
right.
bit inconsistent in the batting,
Yep.
a little bit. But bright spots, as you mentioned, pitcher Martin Perez, 1.56 ERA, second in the MLB, and 4 wins, 2 losses. You got relief pitcher Joe Barlow, has a 2.21 ERA, 11 saves,
Yep.
been really, really consistent and very good. And then right fielder Adolis Garcia, 36 RBIs, 10 home runs. So there are some bright spots there. I think, can they get a little better, more consistent in hitting? I think that's the big question for me.
So if I can say one thing about Adolis Garcia, that dude has muscles on muscles.
He's a muscle hamster. Huh?
If I was Adolis Garcia, I wouldn't even own a shirt.
You just
That
walk
dude-
around
That dude
shirtless.
should be playing defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, he is a monster, and he has absolutely followed up on his rookie season, and so far has been everything that we ever could have asked for him to be.
Yeah, I agree.
The guy's a beast.
Great player, and so you like the outlook on the Rangers. You think they're going to turn it around a
I
little bit?
think we're on the come up for sure.
Awesome. I love it. Well, hey, great segment, Rogers Rambles. And, we're going to talk next after this, the DFW Sports wrap-up. We're going to talk Dallas Cowboys, OTAs, and LIV versus the PGA, and also get the final thoughts from the guys. Hey, come back right after these messages. And welcome back to episode 5 of Elite Aficionados. I'm your host, Matt Thorne, along with famous Roger Amos, Dr. Andrews, and Stoners here from EP Carrillo Cigars. Wrapping up the DFW Sports Update. It wouldn't be a sports update for DFW. We didn't talk Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys OTA rookie offensive tackle Tyler Smith starting week 2 at left tackle. He's being referred to by the head coach as a left side player. Tyron Smith are his days numbered, Trey? I mean, it's kind of interesting, right?
Let's be honest, man. Tyron Smith is probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But the last couple of seasons, his injuries have piled up, and we've had to just insert people up there that had no business playing left tackle.
Right.
This kid, I know we talked about this earlier in another episode. They thought that maybe we reached for him
A little bit, yeah.
But honestly, everything that they have said about him, he is a monster. And Micah Parsons had a hard time getting around him.
Right.
And Micah Parsons
he's no joke.
Might be the best edge rusher in the league as a linebacker.
Absolutely.
And he couldn't get around Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
So I'm super impressed with this kid. I think he's going to be our next left tackle for years to come.
Nice.
Probably going to start off at left guard.
Right.
But if you can learn from a guy like Tyron Smith, you could do worse. Right?
I think the big surprise for me was that it's so early.
Yeah.
Putting him in there and with the ones in organized team activities. I was very, very surprised to see him in there with the ones. Also, we got to talk about tight end Dalton Schultz. Skipped volunteer OTAs. He signed his $10.9 billion franchise, but he's frustrated with contract talks. So, the Cowboys 2022 tight end situation. Very interesting. Dalton skipping the OTAs. What do you think, Raj?
Well, what do voluntary mean? It means exactly that. It's voluntary. He's been around a while. He knows the game.
Right.
So.
It's a little disconcerting. I mean, they signed him to a franchise tag. He's going to make more money than he probably deserves to make.
Yeah, $10.9 billion.
Because he played for the Cowboys.
Right.
Jerry Jones likes to
Touche.
He doles out the money.
He does.
And the guy, I would say, is absolutely top 10 on tight ends, not top 5.
Right.
And that's what you get paid as a franchise tag. But that was the whole point of them signing him to a franchise tag so they can actually talk about what we're going to do for your future contract.
Exactly.
And they need to come to a good number because right now, if they're going to pay him the franchise tag number, I don't think he's worth that.
Right.
So I may be wrong, Matt. You probably know more about this than I do. But if you offer somebody the franchise tag, this gives you a longer period of time to actually negotiate
That's exactly
for a contract, right?
That's the point.
So it just gives you more time to negotiate
exactly.
something long term. So he probably should get his butt into OTAs. Shows him his worth. Signing to a longer term deal instead of being stubborn.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's a great point. I'm not mad. I'm personally not mad about him skipping OTAs because the depth chart, Jeremy Sprinkle, Sean McKeon, Ian Bunting, and Jake Ferguson, the rookie 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin.
Jake Ferguson has a chance to actually
He's
take
got
Dalton
a
Schultz's
chance, and he
position.
just signed. They just signed him to his rookie contract, and then of course Peyton Hendershot, the undrafted Indiana kid, and he was the captain of his team. I mean, this guy's got some potential too. So I think what the Cowboys are thinking is, hey, you know what? That's fine, Dalton. That's all right. We're going to see what these other kids can do running with the ones.
Maybe you should learn how to block before you start sitting out your OTAs.
I'm telling you, Dalton, you might want to get into OTAs and hang out. The mini camp starts on the 13th, so the mandatory mini camp. So we're definitely going to see him back there. But very, very interesting tight end situation for the Dallas Cowboys. And we got to wrap it up. The LIV versus the PGA.
I'm really glad
I know we got some golfers here. Big controversy. And by the way, it's also L54 is the Saudi-backed league. For those that are not familiar with that, I'm dying to know your thoughts, Roger. What do you think? LIV versus PGA.
So it's getting a little sketchy, right? They're getting some pretty big names to sign with the Saudis.
Most notably, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah,
right?
he's older. He's kind of on the downside. But Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Bryson DeChambeau. You know, yeah. So they're getting some big
And
names
Greg
out
Norman
there.
is the one that's actually doing all of the work for this.
Greg Norman was my
guy's a
very
monster.
first. He was my very first favorite golfer, and it might have been because I was young and I loved the shark logo. I liked watching him until he melted down. But no, I think that he's making waves, man. So I don't know the exact number, but LIV 54, the Saudis, whatever you want to call it, they offered Dustin Johnson, I believe, more money under contract than Tiger's made on his purses in his entire career.
Wow.
Now, obviously, he's made a ton of money on his endorsement deals and stuff like
Right.
that. But as far as like winning golf tournaments, they offered Dustin Johnson more money than Tiger's made in his entire career.
So
and he's the number 1 or 2 greatest all time.
Interesting.
That's the big thing with this Saudi league, right?
Yeah.
They're offering, so they paid Dustin Johnson $150 million.
Wow.
And that is a contract.
That's unbelievable.
And that's
no matter
whether
what,
you
how he
win
plays.
or come in last place.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're making that money,
So
right?
he's making it no matter what.
No
matter what.
Wow.
So the big issue that these golfers from the PGA are having is they want to still be able to play in the majors.
Yeah.
They understand that they're dropping their PGA card,
Right.
but the majors that they get invited to, no matter what, if they're going to allow them to continue there,
Yeah.
then it's a great move for them, right?
Right.
But you look at guys like Xander Schauffele, Cameron Smith, Finau, right? They have never won a major. So they don't get automatically invited to play in majors. So would those guys forego their PGA card to
Fascinating.
make the kind of money that they
Right.
can make in the
Right.
LIV tournament?
Right.
Would they do it? Who
Yeah.
knows? But they also don't have a TV deal right now. Right now,
Yeah.
they're going to be streamed on YouTube, on Facebook,
Social media.
Right.
Twitch. Yeah.
So I guarantee you they will have a TV deal pretty soon
Right.
because that's a lot of money being thrown around. But it's the Saudis.
They got some. They got some cash.
They've
Yeah.
got money that they're
some
just
oil money, maybe.
Absolutely. You're talking billions of dollars that these guys are worth. They can spend whatever they want to make sure that these guys come play for them.
Very, very.
I don't know how much, how long the contracts are for. I don't know how much money they plan on making. Because I mean, that's where your money's at from a league perspective, is from your TV deals. Right. They don't have a TV deal.
Yeah.
But they
So
don't
it's
need
all
the money. It's Saudi.
Yeah.
Well, you got to
Apparently,
ROI. You
they
got
have-
to, you're not just going to throw money away.
Unlimited resources.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you got to make money. You don't just throw money away just to watch it fly away.
Yeah.
So they got to come up with something, or it's going to fail. So what happens if it does fail? And these guys that have signed, with
right.
LIV,
Come back with
Right.
their hats in their
Hats
hands.
in hand.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you know. So
I agree.
Well, it's
We'll
it's a fascinating situation, and really, I think it's kind of unprecedented in a
100%.
league. I mean, maybe you look back the days of USFL competing with the NFL for about 30 seconds, but
Right.
that's the only thing I've seen that has really done this, where it could shake up the pro golf circuit. It's very, very interesting. Well, random thoughts. We want to transition here to random thoughts with the guys. We always talk about what is our final thought. What do you want to talk about? Trey, we're going to start with you. What's your final thought of the night?
So my final thought, I actually want to throw to Stoner.
Okay.
So our annual trade show is coming up first week of July.
Yeah, all right.
In Vegas.
Okay.
And most cigar brands actually will bring out their new blends, new stuff that nobody else has ever had.
Okay.
And what do you know that I can talk about?
You can talk about.
So I know that you guys have a new inch coming out that's going to be incredible.
Okay.
And I know you know about that one.
Right. Well, and of course you have to say the name because you know how we screw it up.
It happens.
It's true. I mean, Nesto is phenomenal, and him and Ernesto got together and did this amazing cigar. And Ernesto actually really wanted to do a true Nicaraguan Puro.
Oh,
So it is made in Nicaragua with Nicaraguan tobacco.
With Plasencia,
With Plasencia.
which we had
In
Tom
their
Chambers
factory.
from Plasencia.
we did. Yeah, yeah.
And we talked about how amazing that company is as a whole.
Right.
So you get two of the heavyweights in this industry getting together to make a new cigar.
Very interesting.
That's something that I'm really excited about.
And I'll tell you right now, it's an amazing stick. I
That's
would love
awesome.
to tell you exactly what the tobacco is.
But you have to kill us if you tell us.
Oh no, I don't even know. No. I couldn't tell you if I had to.
Okay,
because
fair
they don't
enough,
even tell
fair
us.
enough.
I will know at the PCA. A couple little secrets out there. That it's a hint. It's what we get. It's our little talk piece. There is some new things coming.
Yeah.
There may be coming a Connecticut to the Familia series. So we've got the Pledge, the La Historia, the Encore.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been talking to Ernesto. They really want him to come out with a Connecticut and the Familia series.
Which we talked a little earlier about how the New Wave Connecticut and the Reserva were the two highest rated Connecticut's ever in a Cigar Aficionado magazine.
Wow.
So this might be a complete just blowout.
His biggest
Game
challenge
changer.
that I know of is the box press.
Okay.
That's his biggest challenge I know, is getting a cigar that he approves to put out there to everybody to smoke that's going to enjoy it and know it's his.
Got
And
it.
just a side note, I had always thought that smoking a round cigar versus a box press cigar was just a matter of palate, your taste.
Okay.
But when I used to rep for Carrillo,
Yeah.
one of our sales meetings, we had a cigar that was already on the market that was a round cigar.
Right.
And he gave me the exact same blend in a box press, and it tastes completely different.
Really fascinating. Okay.
I never knew that it would actually change the flavor, but it absolutely does. So if he's doing a box press Connecticut, I will lose my mind.
That's awesome.
I feel like it'd
actually
be-
takes more tobacco to make a box press.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I feel like it'd be difficult to box press a Connecticut because the wrapper is so fragile.
It's fragile,
right?
yeah.
So
But if anybody can do it, it's going to be Ernesto.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So that you teased us a little bit. What other final thoughts do you have, Wayne?
Man, I tell you, I just got to say, first of all, amazing. Guys,
Oh,
thank you for
yeah.
letting me
Hey,
come out.
glad to
It's
have
been
you.
awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
I don't like
Appreciate
you
you, man.
anymore because now I got to come up to Dallas constantly to get some phenomenal beer with my pledge. But you know, it's folks, if you get a chance, come see these cats.
Yeah.
Please.
Thanks.
They know what's going on. They've got the world wrapped. This man knows his cigars inside and out. This man knows his whiskey. Listen, he just knows how to talk about it better than anybody else. And I'm just a lucky
Hold on, I
guy
gotta
to
pay
know
you.
these guys to be able to do this.
We're all reaching in our pockets
Right.
now.
Everybody's saying, I got a
Now
20.
that I'm done browning some noses around here, please go buy some Ernesto Prescadillo smokes.
Absolutely.
Just to enjoy. It's not about my job. It's about an amazing smoke,
Yeah.
an amazing cigar.
I used to
You'll
rep
enjoy
for
it.
Please get
Ernesto,
some.
and to this day, I still think he's one of the greatest blenders in
50
the
years
history
this
of
man is
cigars.
not
He's
an idiot.
awesome.
Very cool. Very cool, Wayne. Glad to have you. Thanks for those nice comments. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no,
Glad to have you on.
pleasure.
Roger, final thoughts. What do you got, my friend?
yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick shout out to local businesses. Obviously, we're at a local shop. We are at a local shop every night. Every night, but every Wednesday for sure for our show. But also a shout out to Lakewood Brewery here locally. Local breweries, local distilleries, local mom and pop clothing stores, restaurants. Support them. They're your friends and neighbors, man. Just go out and support them.
Good call.
Yeah, big shout out to the local DFW beer scene. When I first got into it, what really drew me to it, one of the things that really drew me to it, obviously, is good beer. But one thing that I really liked was the way that they supported each other.
Yeah, that's great.
If one brewery's got something broken down, they call up somebody else. Hey, I'm missing a part. I need some help. Can you come help me?
Yep.
They'll actually go to
That's
their
cool.
competitor
Very cool.
and help them out. So
Yeah.
real tight knit community.
When I first got into the scene, there were 2 breweries in DFW, and that was it. And now there's probably 70 or 80.
Yeah, there's 70
But your
or 80.
brewery
Yeah.
movement-
Right, they all
Yeah,
like
it's
help
amazing.
each other out, and it's amazing.
Fourth oldest active brewery in DFW is Lakewood.
There you go. Awesome. Hey, our final takes. Love it, guys. Fantastic. What a great show. Hey, join us for the next Elite Aficionados on Wednesday, June 15th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time with special guest Dallas Cowboys Hall of Famer, the original 88, Drew Pearson, my friend, my great friend. Cannot wait to have him on next
gonna be
Wednesday.
fun.
We're talking Cowboys off season and season predictions with Drew, and we're going to also feature the Aroa Dark. Yeah, I got it right. Thank goodness. From CLE Cigar Company, and we'll pair it with Highland Park 18 Scotch. It's going to be a phenomenal show, broadcasting live from Elite Cigar Cafe in Addison. So be sure to join us. For Doc Trey Andrews, famous Roger Amos, producer RJ Alvarade, Wayne Stoner, and myself, God bless and be elite.
Be elite.